Okay, and here we go. We are live, family. I hope that y'all are well. Peace, light, good, positive energy. I hope that everybody is well and happy and whole and all that good stuff. Happy manifestation week, okay? That's what we're going to call it. We're just going to call it the big manifestation week. Shout out to the wellness community. I see y'all in here. Butterflies in the sky. Come on. Can you say can y'all just say we in here like it's church? Okay. Come on now. Yes, y'all. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. I hope that y'all are well and happy and whole. Truly, truly, truly. This week is a big week. Okay. And it's Sunday. In many traditions, Sunday is Obatala Day. So it's the day of white, it's the day of purification, it's the day of cleansing. And today is the perfect day to wrap up. Or I ain't even gonna say wrap up because some of y'all might just be getting started. But today is the perfect day to focus heavily on purifying, on cleansing, doing your spring cleaning, y'all. Do your spring cleaning. Why? Because this week is a big manifestation week. And when I say big manifestation week, I mean big. Like everything that is happening this week is conducive to manifestation. It's conducive to, doing new things, trying new things, setting your intention, and just watching the manifestations bloom quickly. Okay, so my intention with this live is to explain what is happening every day this week. Monday through Friday, there are big astrological transitions that's occurring in, occurrences that are occurring that are going to lead us into blooming and springing forth our manifestations. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to be explaining some do's, some don'ts. I try to, because there's so many things happening, I try to align it all, but keep it still simple. Y'all know I always try to keep it simple, easy, and accessible. So my intention is to share 5 do's, 5 don'ts, 5 journal prompts, 5 crystals, and 5 herbs. We keeping it all in alignment with 5 because it's 5 days this week that things is popping. Okay. So let's get into it and start with the first thing. Monday, March 20th. And I want y'all to look at the numerology, right? Look at the alignment and numbers, right? So first off, let me get my notes out because I had to take notes, y'all. Okay, we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to discuss. Okay, so I had to take my notes. But thank you, Kay Thomas. I appreciate the donation. I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the cash app. But let me get my notes, y'all. So listen here for the spring equinox, Monday, March 20th. And as I said, look at the alignment and the numbers. Wellness community, I'm gonna put these notes in the Patreon when I'm done. I'm literally gonna copy and paste all my notes and put it in the Patreon. So if you are in the wellness community, you don't have to physically take notes right now if you don't want to. I'm gonna put them all in the Patreon so that you can just focus on the video, and then you'll be able to go back and access the notes later on. But for the alignment and the numbers, right? 3/20/2023. 3202023 spring equinox is tomorrow. And if you watched, I think maybe my last live, and especially if you are in the wellness community in the group chat, I've been telling y'all, do your spring cleaning, prepare, cleanse, because you want to step into the spring completely purified, completely cleansed, detox your body, detox your home, start purging, getting rid of things that are no longer serving your wellness, making sure that you cleanse everything in your house, washing all clothes, linens, and everything, y'all. This weekend, I started last week, but I literally washed everything in my house. I'm talking about everything, every curtain, every towel, every dish thing, everything. And really just like making sure that you are setting your home, okay? And I ain't supposed to get into the do's already, okay? I'm not supposed to get into the do's. But the reason I was telling y'all to make sure that practice your spring cleaning and the setting your home and setting your spaces, because the spring equinox is a big time to manifest. Okay, a lot of times, a lot of folks who follow the lunar calendar, they celebrate the spring equinox as the new year. Okay, so be mindful of that. And it is the new year. It is the start of the new. When things start springing forth from the earth, when things start blossoming, abundance, manifestation, things start coming into fruition. Now, as for me, and I shared this in my New Year video, as for me, with the Gregorian calendar New Year, which is, January 1st, I like to use that as a time to set my intention. And then with the spring equinox, I use that as a time to truly just live in gratitude and start manifesting. This is the perfect time to start manifesting and, of course, leading in gratitude. With the spring equinox, the beautiful thing about it physically, is that this is a time where days are equal to nights. And the reason days are equal to nights is because the earth is perfectly balanced in alignment with the sun. So it's not tilting toward the sun and it's not tilting away from the sun. It is perfectly balanced, causing equality. So the way the spring equinox energy really affects us is bringing us a sense of balance, a sense of peace. It also brings us high energy and high fertility. High fertility. Okay. So feeling extra fertile and fertile, yes, when it comes to making babies, but fertile also with manifesting, fertile also with bringing forth abundance and birthing new things. Okay. So during this time, the spring equinox affects us in a way where you may start feeling the need to manifest new ideas, to do new things. Sudden ideas start popping into your mind like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, which then brings us to the 21st. So Monday, the 20th, spring equinox. Spring equinox is about bringing us a sense of balance, a sense of peace and serenity, but also high fertility, the sense of starting new things, birthing new things, having new ideas. Okay. Now let's move into Tuesday, the 21st. 321 2023. 321. New moon in Aries. This all works in alignment, y'all, because the spring equinox bringing forth those new ideas and giving us the energy to be fertile and to prosper and to manifest and to reproduce. That spring equinox energy goes perfect with this new moon in Aries, simply because Aries energy, cardinal sign, Aries energy, fire sign. It's all about leading. It's all about starting new things. It's all about going at things full throttle with a lot of passion, a lot of determination, and manifesting shit. New moon in Aries is all about getting it done. It's all about getting it done. So this is not a time where, spring equinox is bringing us this burst of energy and bringing us these new ideas and we just sitting on it. That's not what we're doing, because this new moon in Aries is giving us the passion, determination, the leadership energy to really just go at things head first and get it done. So don't be surprised during this time if you find yourself having these ideas, having this burst of energy, and you get super laser focused, you get that tunnel vision, and you really start seeing yourself manifesting things that you've never imagined. Okay. That's new moon in Aries energy. The new moon is all about setting intentions and manifesting. Aries energy, that cardinal sign, that fire sign, it's all about passion, desire, determination, strength, leadership. That is Aries energy. So that spring equinox followed by that new moon in Aries is the perfect manifestation energy, because it's all about just really, truly setting your goals and getting things done. But what I want y'all to be mindful about with this energy is the new goals. So the things that you start desiring, the things that you think you may want, maybe things that you've never even craved before or fathomed before, you never thought about before. That's the idea of high fertility. That's the idea of reproducing and birthing new things, right? That's the idea. That's the energy of it. Don't be surprised if you find yourself shifting direction, if you find yourself shifting focus, right? Don't be surprised. Just be open to it. Put yourself in a position where you are just open to receive. Okay. This is true. I can't get into the do's yet. Let me not get into the do's yet. It's difficult to not get into the do's, but I got to stay focused on what's happening every day so y'all can understand how all of this energy is working together. But it's difficult to not get into the do's because, y'all, when I say this week is so huge, especially for my folks who struggle with like mental health, if you're struggling with like depression, especially things like seasonal depression, with the astrology and everything that's been going on with the planetary alignment, there's a lot of folks who have just been feeling down and you've been feeling detached from yourself. You've been feeling like, you don't know what to do, kind of lost, very stagnant energy. trust me, y'all, you are coming out of that. You are coming out of that. It's going to feel like one day you just woke up and the light bulb flicked on and it's it. This is it. And that's why it's so difficult for me not to get into the dues, because y'all, when I say this shift is going to be so heavy, it really is. It's going to be so heavy in a positive direction. So when we speak about this being a big manifestation, we talk about the spring equinox, we talk about the new moon in Aries. And when I'm saying that this energy is high fertility, high energy, a lot of passion, a lot of fire, a lot of determination, it's also going to come with a lot of ease. It's also going to come with a lot of ease. Just be open to it. I don't want y'all to don't obsess over it. Don't feel like you got to pretend to be something you're not. Just be open to it. Yes, thank you so much for saying this. Be open to receiving the energy. Again, don't be surprised if one day you just wake up and you feel new. If you just wake up and you feel different, you feel the burst of energy, you feel the urge to just do something and you don't know what it is, just get up and just do it. I'm glad you are already feeling the shift. I'm truly glad you are feeling the shift because it's there, you know? So that's Monday and Tuesday. Now, so the 20th, spring equinox, the 21st, the new moon in Aries. Now, the 22nd is Ramadan. And I have a previous video. I should have linked it in the description, but I have a previous video explaining Ramadan and breaking Ramadan down. But Ramadan is the day of fasting. Ramadan, not the day, excuse me, the month of fasting. Ramadan starts the month of fasting in Islam. And you may not be Muslim. You may not celebrate or honor Islam. You know, you may not be a practitioner of Islam, but we all should be a practitioner of fasting. And especially what I love so much about Ramadan is that it's not about, y'all hear Diddy, you hear Diddy barking, okay, acting up. But yes, what I love so much about Ramadan that really kind of sets it apart for me personally, and not to say that other religions don't have this, because I know that Lent is also occurring. But what I love so much about Ramadan is that Ramadan is truly about being open to receive the messages of the world, to be open to receive the messages from spirit, be open to receive the messages from God, and giving gratitude. It's not about anything else. It's not about anything dealing in, like, you know, you got to give this up to get that. You got to give this up. It's like we do this in honor of. We fast in honor of. We detox, we purge, we release in honor of. We give thanks. It's about gratitude. It's truly about sitting and centering yourself in gratitude, in the hearing now, not so much in the hopes of something, you know. And like I said, no shade to other traditions, but it's not in hopes of, you know, oh, I got to give this up so I can get this in return. It's truly just like out of gratitude, out of love of community, out of faith, you know, it's truly out of that. So I love the fact that Ramadan is falling on the 22nd, spring equinox, new moon, and then Ramadan, because this is a time to really teach yourself to detach from outcomes. Practice the law of detachment during this time. And I'm not saying that you have to fast, you know, in Ramadan, you fast from sun up to sundown, no food, no water. I'm not saying that you have to participate to that extent, but I do urge everyone to choose something that is fasting for you. Whatever you want to fast from for however long, whatever amount of time, but choose something so that you can learn that lesson of detachment. Choose something so that you can, you know, learn to practice patience and determination and just being a better version of self. Choose something so that you can learn to practice gratitude for what you do have. Choose something so that you can learn to just say, hey, I am here, I am present, I am focused, I am detached from my physical body. I'm not in need of anything. I have an abundance of everything I want, and I am able to do this. It's really about focusing the mind. It's really about connecting with the spirit, with the soul of the world. So with Ramadan falling on the 22nd, again, you don't have to for you. If you don't have to, you know, if you don't want to celebrate Ramadan as done traditionally, I just urge you to find some way to detox, find something that you want to fast from. Yes, it can be cursing. Yes, it can be cursing. It could be, you know, the decreasing your social media. intake. It could be a multitude of things, but find something that you want to fast from. And Ramadan goes from March 22nd up until April 21st. So it's a month of fasting. Okay. So again, it could be social media. It could be anything. It could be from sugar, from sweets. It could be anything. Traditionally, it's no food, no water, sun up to sundown, but you do what's best for you. So spring equinox, okay, new moon, Ramadan. Now, all of that is conducive to manifestation. All of that is conducive to gratitude. All of that is conducive to discipline, determination, all of that good fire energy. March 23rd, 323 2023. March 23rd, Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Pluto is moving into Aquarius. Now, let's talk about this, because Pluto is the planet that affects generations. Pluto will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. 20 years. Pluto will affect everything from our power, our sense of security, of safety. Pluto is heavy, heavy root chakra energy. Now, Pluto being in Aquarius, Aquarius energy is all about creativity. Aquarius energy is also about being impulsive, just being, it's, air sign, kind of blowing with the wind, but being very fixed in your freedom. Being very fixed in your freedom. Aquarius energy is all about creativity and feeling new identity. Y'all, as a community, because again, Pluto is a planet that affects a generation. Pluto is a planet that affects community. Pluto being in Aquarius is a sign that y'all folks are really about to start coming into new identities. Wherever Aquarius is, and you look up your natal chart. If you're in the wellness community, we talked about this, I think, last week. Look up your natal chart. Wherever Aquarius is in your chart, you are about to become anew in that space. You are about to manifest as a new person. You're going to feel a shift in your identity wherever Aquarius is in your chart. And that will affect how you perform and how you show up in community. So this is a good thing, because y'all, people who kind of feel isolated, people who feel like they don't have a tribe, people who don't feel like they have a community, you are about to start finding your tribe. You are about to start finding your community. I'm telling y'all, you are truly going to see a lot more communities blooming, a lot more people feeling like connected, a lot more like interpersonal connection, interpersonal experience. There's also going to be a huge burst in people seeking to understand and grow in emotional intelligence, which will affect us in a positive way. So, and I also, a third change that's going to be different. So we have a personal internal change that'll occur, where wherever Aquarius is in your chart, you're going to feel a new identity. You're going to feel a shift in who you are. Wherever Aquarius falls in your chart, that will then lead you to find a deeper connection with community. There's going to be a lot of new communities, more creative communities that fit very unique groups who've never felt seen before. There's going to be a lot more communities popping up. And then also, which also increases emotional intelligence, a lot more people seeking to become more emotionally intelligent. But also, I was just having a conversation with my sister Queen. Another big shift for this generation is going to be the whole AI movement, right? The whole, advancements in technology, the technological advances, that is truly going to shift the generation. But a lot of people think it's not going to be a good thing. Y'all, it will be well. I'm telling y'all here now, it will be well. It will be well. The advancements in creative, new advancements in technology, speaking specifically of AI and, these auto-generated, technology, all of that, it's going to be well. The shift is going to be well. because it's going to cause us as humans to rely on each other more, to love on each other more, to support each other more. It's going to cause us to crave community more. Therefore, we start seeking and finding community more. We're going to start embracing each other's unique abilities more often. That's what it's going to do. So, yes, there will be a shift in, like, the technology and the advancement of AI, but it's not going to have a negative impact on community. I'm not speaking about jobs and things, but I'm speaking about community. We are going to start relying on each other more in community. Be mindful of that. Now, I do also want to say some kind of downsides of this energy impact with Pluto in Aquarius. Downsides is a lot of friction between, I don't want to say believers and non-believers, but we do have to be mindful that Aquarius is a fixed sign. So I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius can be set in their ways. Okay. Aquarius are often accused of like thinking they know everything, being know-it-alls, being very set in their ways and kind of stubborn. Yes, on the positive side, people will start having more community. People will start connecting with folks more and start, creating various sectors. But the downside of it is people are going to be very fixed in their communities. There may be a sense of divide in that way, where it's like you're with this group or that group and there is no compromise. You either here or there and there is no compromise. You on this side or that side and there is no compromise, which can cause a lot of like friction, which can cause a lot of tribal tension, tribal wars in a sense. So just be mindful of that. You may notice in government in various countries, okay, a lot of warring between countries, a lot of battling between countries and between governments because people are so set in their communities and everybody thinks that their way is the way. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of fixed, stuck in their ways. I got my tribe, I got my crew, I got my team, you got your team, we on this side, y'all on that side, what's up with it? That type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So that is a downside. And I can't just, act like everything is all beautiful and roses and honey and sunflowers. I can't just pretend. I have to tell y'all the whole of it. Okay, so those are some ways that Pluto in Aquarius affects us. Now, Pluto, again, shifts to Aquarius. The shift starts on the 23rd and it'll be settled in Aquarius by the 24th. So Monday, Spring Equinox. Tuesday, new moon in Aries. Wednesday, Ramadan. Starts the month of fasting, purification, detox, and gratitude and love. Thursday, Pluto moves to Aquarius. Friday, Pluto is settled into Aquarius and manifestations start heavily, heavily, heavily blooming. Okay. So that is your big manifestation week. Those are the things that's occurring every single day. Every single day. Okay. That is how our energy will be impacted. Again, we're starting off very strong with the manifestation because that spring equinox energy gives us the new ideas. It gives us high energy, high fertility. That Aries energy, that Aries gives us the sense of leadership, passion, fire, starting out strong, being very determined, actually manifesting those new ideas, putting the pencil or pen to paper and making it happen, feet to ground and moving forward. Wednesday, that Ramadan, that fasting also increases that determination. It increases that dedication. It increases our ability to stick to it, okay, with gratitude and with love at the center. Thursday, Pluto in Aquarius, generational shift. People feeling a sense of new identity, finding their purpose more. Wherever Aquarius is in your chart, be prepared that you will feel a shift of newness, of creative energy in those areas, finding your purpose, being more in line with your true self. Then after that, you have to remember that Friday, that Pluto and Aquarius energy will truly be settled in. A lot more folks seeking community, finding their tribes, increase in our connection and craving of each other. Okay. So just be mindful of that. So that is your big manifestation week. Now let's get into our 5 do's, 5 don'ts, 5 journal prompts. Like I said, y'all, I got my notes here. I'll post them in the wellness community group chat. 5 do's, 5 don'ts, 5 journal prompts, 5 crystals, 5 herbs. Okay. Now we're going to run through it. First do, and this is big, dealing with the spring equinox energy. Practice a lot of grounding, of connecting with the earth. Practice a lot of grounding, a lot of connecting with the earth. That's going to be important during this time. And when I say grounding, I mean feeling connected with the universe, feet to earth, a lot of walking barefoot, a lot of going out in nature. Practice grounding and connecting with the earth. First do. Second do, practice breath work. The reason you need to practice that breath work is because we need to move energy throughout our body. Please understand the power of the breath, understand the power of truly the chi. Start studying chi energy, okay? Understand the power of the breath. Practice that breath work so that you can move the energy throughout your body. Breathe out what you want to release and take in what you desire to attract. And again, that also increases your connection with nature, with the universe. Y'all know for breath work, I always recommend Wim Hof, WIM space HOF. Please, please, please go study Wim Hof. Wim Hof, his breath work, his breathing techniques, very healing, very soothing. Practice learning how to move energy throughout your body through the breath. So that's the second thing, practice breath work. The third thing, build communication with nature. In order to be able to receive your messages from nature, from spirit, you have to build communication with nature. Spirit communicates with nature. Oftentimes, people will come to me and they'll say, I want to know my spiritual gift. So I've been practicing ancestor veneration, but I don't know if spirit is present. And I'm like, well, where are you looking? Where are you seeking your answers from? So build communication with nature. All right. And I'll give you a journal prompt that's going to help you with that when I go through the journal prompts. But this is going to be important because with that spring equinox energy and that new moon and Aries energy, you have those new ideas, you have those curiosities, those questions of how to manifest it. Your answers will come from nature. Spirit is going to be heavy, heavy, heavy in nature when it comes to communicating. So I'm not saying that you can't, but don't be so stuck at your altar in your home, and you staring, looking at the bubbles in the water. Take your ass outside and go talk to the trees, go talk to the grass, go talk to some plants. Keep some plants in your house and communicate with those plants in your home. Like you want to spend a lot of time building a relationship and communicating with nature. This is the time, and I used to get made fun of for this in college, okay, because it wasn't popular back then. Back in 2009, I'm dating myself, but back in 2009, 2010, it wasn't popular to be a tree hugger. It wasn't popular to be the girl outside that, you walk past I went to Savannah State University, so we have big, beautiful trees on campus with the moss. It wasn't popular to be the girl that just walk up and holding on to the tree. I literally would do that, but exchanging energy with trees, with nature, this is the time to become a tree hugger. This is, let me not say tree hugger, because I think I heard that tree hugger was a disrespectful term, okay? But you know what I mean? This is the time that you become attached to nature. You start working with animals. You start working with the plants, with the trees. Walk up to a tree. This was my favorite practice when I was really focusing heavily on communicating with nature. I would walk up to the trees, place my hand on a tree, and just really focus on exchanging energy with the tree. Heavily exchanging energy with trees, cleansing my body. You got to vision it, truly. Vision the tree energy, cleansing your body, removing anything that is not of your wellness, and replenishing you and helping you feel whole again. And it worked every time. So try that. Try just right, Grace said, if you hug a tree, you are a tree hugger. Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was. But that I would often get called that. I would, people would look at me like I was crazy because I if you know Savannah State campus, I would be in front of social science building. There's a big, huge tree in front of social science, like right by the street. And I would literally just walk up to that tree and place my hand on it and close my eyes and just meditate. And I'll be standing there until my spirit told me it was enough and to go. But that's how you build communication with nature. Go sit in the park. Go read a book under a tree. When it's raining outside, y'all, go dance in the rain. Okay. And I know, and that's the sad thing it's like everything dealing in nature, people got a negative thing to say about it. I remember I did a video about using rainwater and the positive things about rain. I use rainwater to wash my hair, to wash my body. I'll put rainwater in my spiritual baths. And people was like, the chemtrails, the chemtrails. Listen, okay. I've been dancing in the rain and bathing in rainwater and cleansing myself in rainwater for forever. And as far as I know, I am well. Thank God. I went to the doctor. I'm well. Okay, I'm well. All right, go dance in the rain, y'all. Go dance in the rain. Go experience nature, experience the beauty of the world. In the book, The Alchemist, y'all know that's my favorite book of all time. In the book, The Alchemist, he talks about the language of the world. And there's a universal language of the world. And that language is truly based in spirit. It's truly based in emotion. It's truly based in feeling. If you get that urge, you see it's raining outside, y'all go dance in the rain. Go just stand out there and let the rain pour on you. Yes, you're going to be wet. Yes, you're going to be drenched. Come home, go in the house, take the clothes off, dry your hair and take a shower and keep it moving. Like it's beautiful to absorb that energy of the water falling from the sky, y'all. Collect some rainwater. Charge that rainwater under a new moon or a full moon and turn that rainwater into moon rainwater. Charge with the energy of that moon. You know, these are all beautiful things that we can do, and we use all of these for spiritual purposes. You put a little bit in your spiritual bath and all of that. Okay, so just truly, truly, truly build communication with nature. You know, some of the best omens, the best signs come from nature. I told y'all this before, but you know, and again, we'll talk about this in the journal prompts, but you know, a lot of times you may have questions for spirit. What should I do? What should I do? And it's a yes or no question, yes or no questions. And you have to be able to communicate with nature. You have to be able to say, if the answer is yes, slow the rain. If the answer is no, make it rain harder. If the answer is yes, brighten the sun. If the answer is no, bring the sun dimmer. If the answer is yes, let the wind blow. If the answer is no, wind be still. And you will be able to communicate with spirit in that way. A lot of folks are staring at a fucking cup of water on the altar waiting for a bubble. Go outside. Spirit is everywhere. Spirit is in everything. Spirit is in the trees. It's in the ocean. It's in the rivers. It's in the lakes. It's in the wind. It's in the grass. It's in the plants. It's in the sky. Spirit is everywhere. So when you are looking for a sign from spirit, where are you searching? Where are you searching? Take your ass outside and build communication with nature. Because during this time, spring equinox, new moon, Aries, that's where your answer is going to come from. It's going to come from nature. So build communication. Now that was 3. So do's: 1, practice grounding and connecting with the earth and nature, walking barefoot, things like that. 2, practice breath work, specifically outside, especially doing like yoga and things like that with breath work. Study Wim Hof. I told y'all that. 3, build communication with nature. 4, fast. Fast when and how your spirit leads you to. I'm not putting no restrictions on anybody's fast. I'm not telling you how to fast. For me personally, I probably will be fasting Ramadan style. Okay, Ramadan's on the 22nd. I probably will be fasting Ramadan style, but you fast however is best for you. So the 4th do is fast, and fast with the intention of gratitude. Fast with the intention of being grateful for receiving the messages and the omens of the world, of the universe from spirit. Okay, so fast with gratitude. Okay, now the 5th thing: write and speak into the universe one thing you are grateful for each day. That's the 5th do. Every single day, write and speak aloud into the universe, into nature, at least one thing you are grateful for every single day. Every day. And for these 5 do's, I ask that you strive to practice them throughout the month. Okay. And to each their own, whatever your spirit leads you to, because you may not feel led to do it every day. You may not feel led to do breath work every day. You may not feel led to fast every day for a month. You may not feel led to walk barefoot outside every day. But just keep in mind these 5 do's throughout this next month. throughout this next month, okay, throughout March, April, let's keep it to the Ramadan days. So throughout this next week, through the week of the 21st, 22nd of April, strive to keep these 5 do's in mind during this time, okay? And again, follow your spirit. Do it as your spirit leads you to do, how your spirit leads you to do it, because your spirit guides, your ancestors, God is going to guide you according to what's best for you. So you may not need to fast how I fast. You may not need to pray how I pray. You may not need to meditate how I meditate. You may not need to do the breath work I do. You got to do what's specifically designed and catered to you. Again, it must be meant for me to reread The Alchemist because it keeps popping in my mind every time. But again, in The Alchemist, he says maktub. Maktub. Maktub means it was written. It was written. It was written. So for you, how it's written for you is for you. Your life is specially designed for you. So do these do's according to how you want to do them and how your spirit leads you to do them. Okay. But strive to just keep them in mind over the next month. Now, 5 don'ts, things you do not want to do, things you want to avoid over this next month. Don't compare yourself. And that just kind of leads off what I was just saying, finishes off what I was just saying. Do not compare yourself. No comparisons. And I want to be mindful when I say comparisons, because it's one thing to admire. There's another thing to compare. You can look at somebody who does what you like for me, y'all know I admire my elders. What I do, holistic wellness, being a holistic wellness educator, consultant, first of all, student and practitioner. I admire my elders. I admire people like Queen Afua, Deepak Chopra, Sadhguru, Yaya Louis Satish. I admire my elders. I admire my elders. I admire my elders, you know. And the thing about it is I admire them, but I don't compare my journey to theirs. I'm not looking at my life and looking at their life like when they was my age, they was doing this and they was doing that, and I need to do this how they did it. Don't compare yourself, y'all. Don't compare yourself to other folks during this time, especially because, you know, as I said, it's going to be a lot of high fertility, a lot of high energy, a lot of new ideas. You don't want to start looking at other people's lives and wondering why they doing something that you feel like you should be doing, or why y'all may be the same age, but it seems like they're progressing, or you're not progressing, or you are progressing and they're not progressing. It's not a time to start placing things and people on hierarchies. It's not a time to start comparing yourself. Don't do that. Avoid that during this time. Okay. So no comparing yourself. You can admire and value and be grateful to have mentors and teachers, but don't compare yourself to anybody. Okay. Don't compare. Now, the second thing, don't rush your process. Do not rush your process. Again, new ideas, feeling determined, feeling passionate, but don't rush your process. And this is going to be a battle during this time, okay? Because this is the thing. With Aries energy, again, Aries can be very fiery. Aries can be very passionate. With Aries energy, y'all, full throttle, full steam ahead. What I love about an Aries is Aries will get an idea and they get very excited and they're like, oh, we're going to do this. But then Aries has a habit of burnout. Aries will burn themselves out because they're trying to rush and get it done because they got this big burst of energy and they want to do it all now. And then they burn themselves out. Don't allow your flame to burn out. Lately, this has been my thing lately. I'm a slow burn. I like being a slow, steady burn. Be a slow burn. That Aries fire energy, be a slow burn. You feel that passion, you feel that determination, but don't allow it to make you sloppy. And a lot of folks get sloppy when it comes to manifesting because they're trying to rush the process. So you're not as clear as you need to be. You're not being as patient as you need to be. You're trying to use it all up right now while you get it. And it's kind of like functioning in a scarcity mindset. Be a slow burn. Be a slow burn. Know that this is flow. That spring energy, that's flow. It's all about moving in flow. And what goes away must go away. what comes must come, and it will continue to cycle and continue to flow. So what is for you is steadily attracting to you, and you have to trust that. So be in the flow. Be in the flow. So whenever you feel yourself, you got that new idea, you got that spark, you're feeling yourself finding your purpose, because that Pluto and Aquarius energy, a lot of folks are going to start finding their purpose more coming, especially if Aquarius is your sun sign, stepping into new identity, right? Finding your purpose, moving deeper into your purpose, finding new ways to manifest your purpose. Don't feel the need to start the business right now and get it all done and it has to be perfect. Don't feel the need to do the big thing right here, right now. Be a slow burn, be steady, ask spirit for clarity, go out in nature, receive your omens and your signs from spirit through nature, build that communication, sit on the revelation, sit on the clarity for a while, meditate on it, ask spirit how you should manifest it, and allow them to just attract it to you. Allow the opportunities to just come to manifest it piece by piece by piece by piece, brick by brick by brick. Right now, you're literally building a building. Okay, you're literally building something. So really vision yourself manifesting it brick by brick by brick. The whole building ain't got to be done by tomorrow. So just be mindful of that Aries energy. It's good energy. Because like I said, it's passion, it's fire, it's determination, it's dedication. It's really, heavy with the getting it done, but the how you get it done is to be a slow burn. Don't burn out. Be a slow burn, okay? Now, the next thing, avoid becoming centered in ego. Pluto is the planet of a generation. It's about community. It's about a long period of time affecting everyone. Community. Pluto is a planet that affects the generation. Pluto moving into Aquarius. Be mindful of not becoming centered in ego. This is not the time to only do what's well for you. This is not the time to only consider yourself. This is not the time to say, I have this new idea. I'm going to forward ahead by myself. I don't need nobody. This is not the time to be bragging about how you don't need nobody, how you could do it on your own. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Maya Angelou. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. This is the time for partnership. This is the time to come together and build together. This is the time for, shout out to Kwanzaa, collective economics, okay? Kuji Chakalia, Kuji Chakalia, Kuji Chakalia. This is the time for cooperative economics. This is the time for that, for us to start pouring into each other, okay? Be mindful of that. Yes, be self-determined. Yes, be willing to go out and get it, but also be mindful of having that cooperative economics. Be mindful about building partnership. Be mindful of community. It's not the time to be centered in ego. I don't want to hear nobody talking about they going to do it on their own. They could do it on their own. They don't need nobody. I'm self-taught. Ain't none of us self-taught. Too many ancestors came before you to be talking about you self-taught. Too many elders is doing it for you to be talking about you self-taught. A lot of folks be claiming they self-taught, but then wondering why they don't have no mentors, because you putting that energy in the universe that you self-taught. You putting that energy in the universe that you could do it on your own. You want a mentor, but you want to brag about how you self-taught. Stay for self. This is not the time for that. This is not the time to be wanting to be self-taught and self-made. I don't want to be self-made. I want to be community made. I want to be partnership made. I'm a communal person. I love community. I love my tribe. I'm not self-made. I'm community made. If it wasn't for the wellness community, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. I'm community made. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, spirit gave me the idea. Yeah, I put the idea into fruition, but the community came and built the wellness community to what it is today. I'm community made. I'm not self-made. I'm not self-taught. I got elders like Queen Afua, Yeye Tish, Deepak Chopra, Sadhguru, and many, I could go on for days, who taught me so much. Paulo Coelho, books. If I read your book, you my teacher. If I watched your YouTube video, you my teacher. If I did anything that you have done, you are my teacher. So I'm not self-taught. I learned from my elders. I learned from the ones who came before me. This is the time to start living in gratitude for community. So be mindful of your ego. Be mindful about wanting to break away and isolate, because I'm telling you now, you will not thrive during this time, baby. You're not going to thrive during this time. This is not the time for that. You may feel like it, you may think it, but this is not the time to try to break away and isolate and be reclusive and think you're going to do it all on your own. This is the time where you need at least one. Where two or more are gathered, he's in the midst. Come on, church folks. Where two or more are gathered in the midst, you need at least one. At least one. That's community, some type of partnership, some type of tribe. So be mindful of the ego. Be mindful of only functioning in itself. And like I always tell y'all, the ego is not a bad thing. Go watch my video on the ego. There's a lot of positivity to the ego. We don't hate the ego. We don't kill the ego. We don't detach from the ego because you need that. You need to be mindful of self. You need to be aware of yourself. That's ego, to be aware of yourself, to be aware of your value. You need that, but you have to mind it. Don't allow the ego to control you. Be a communal person. Be a communal person. Be able to function in community because that's how you'll thrive during this time, okay? And then kind of number 4 of the don'ts, things to avoid. It kind of goes with the ego, but heavy manifestations. You really are going to be manifesting a lot of things beyond your imagination, things beyond what you ever thought you would. Don't become braggadocious. Mind your bragging. I'm not saying that you can't talk about your manifestations. I'm not saying you got to keep it a secret. You could talk about it, but there's a difference between talking in a sense of I'm grateful for and talking in a sense of stunting on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of that. Be mindful. No bragging during this time. No. We're not trying to manifest with the intention of stunting on folks. Okay? Be mindful of that. And I know it's difficult. I know sometimes you want to stunt. I know sometimes you want to go back to the folks who said you couldn't do it or wouldn't do it or who didn't believe or didn't support. I know sometimes you want to, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. They see it. They see the light. They see the glow. They see it. You don't got to talk about it because you live in it. You ain't got to brag about it because it's on you. You dripped in it. So you don't got to brag about it. They see it. They see the upgrade. Okay? You don't got to brag on it. So just be mindful of that. No bragging. And the 5th thing, Pluto and Aquarius. This is specifically for that Pluto and Aquarius energy. Don't become dogmatic. Don't become dogmatic. Y'all, as you are manifesting, as you are moving into abundance, and you are actually seeing the things that you do have a positive effect, right? You're seeing your ideas, your hard work, your determination. You're seeing the things you do. You're manifesting. You're attracting everything that you desire. You're upgrading. You're going to want to teach. You're going to want to tell people. Don't become dogmatic. Don't become a person who's forcing your teachings on others. Be mindful of how you're talking to folks during this time. Be mindful of your communication, especially if your Mercury is in Aquarius. Be mindful of your communication. Be mindful of how you talk to people. This is going to be a time, especially with this Pluto in Aquarius, y'all. Some folks is going to be very sensitive, okay, with how they receive information and how they receive teachings. So you're going to manifest a lot, but you got to be mindful about coming off as dogmatic, how you present being dogmatic. This is how I do it. It ain't no other way. And this is the right way and the only way. This is not the time for that. Be mindful about being dogmatic. It's okay to teach. But as I said, when I talked about being braggadocious, your light speaks for you. Your glow speaks for you. Your upgrade speaks for you. You ain't got to brag on it. You don't got to force people to come live how you live and do what you do. It speaks for you. You know, people come to your home. Don't force them to drink the tea. Ask them would they like some tea while you sip your tea. Don't force them to drink the herbs. You ask them if they would like to partake. Give them the option. And that's what this is really about. It's about giving folks the option. Okay. So just be mindful of that dogma. Be mindful of that forceful, also with that Aries energy, that forceful, I could do it. I'm leading. I'm taking charge because Aries are heavy leaders. I'm leading. I'm taking charge. And it's my way. Y'all follow me. Be mindful of that. This is going to be the time where you kind of just have to be willing to watch and observe and let people go on their own path. And then when they ask you, you are prepared to teach, but just be mindful of that. So we got our 5 do's. We got our 5 don'ts or things to avoid. Let's do 5 journal prompts. And again, wellness community, I'm putting all these notes in the group, and not in the group chat, but in the Patreon. I'm putting all these notes in the Patreon, okay? Journal prompt number 1. What manifestations am I grateful for? What manifestations am I grateful for? During this season, you want to lead heavily in gratitude, because gratitude is how we multiply manifestations. Gratitude is how we continue to reproduce. So please, family, lead with gratitude during this seasons. So what manifestations are you grateful for? What things have already happened in your life, have already manifested, that you are grateful for? And if you are going through something, I know that it may be difficult to kind of shift your mindset and shift your focus to that. Especially, come on now. I know folks are struggling. I know folks is out here struggling. And it's difficult to like shift to gratitude if you got children who need to eat and you ain't got no way to feed them. It's difficult to shift to gratitude when you don't know where you're going to stay, because, you may be struggling with rent and things. I know that it's difficult when you have big worries and big concerns, but at least one thing. What are you grateful for? What has manifested that you are grateful for? What have you overcome that you are grateful for? So that's the first journal prompt. What is one manifestation that you are grateful for? What am I grateful for? Okay. The second journal prompt, and this goes to our do of building communication with the world. So this is not a journal prompt that you're going to probably be able to sit down right then and there and answer. This is going to be a journal prompt where you probably need to take that journal, go sit outside somewhere, really look into the sky, look around at nature, and ask yourself, second journal prompt, what are my signs of yes and no? What are my signs are yes and no in nature? Numbers, dreams, and other omens. In nature, numbers, dreams, and other omens. Family, when you are looking to communicate with spirit, okay? Spirit will communicate in nature. Spirit will communicate through numerology, through numbers. Spirit will communicate through dreams. Spirit will communicate through babies, children. Spirit will communicate in a multitude of ways. I really want you to journal, what are my yeses and nos? Oftentimes, folks come to spirit with questions and you wonder, you want to know the answer. But what is your yet? When you see what numbers, what numerology, what sequence of numbers means yes for you. Somebody said 222. Tay Marie said, multiple people saying 222. And 222 makes sense because that is the number of abundance and multiplication. So what numbers is your yes? What sign in nature is your yes? When the wind blows, is that spirit saying yes? If you ask spirit a question, should I da-da-da-da-da? If the wind blows, it's yes. If it's still, it's no. What's your signs? When you are dreaming, what do you need to dream about? That's a sign of a yes. Who do you need to see come to you in a dream? That's a sign of a yes. What is your communication with spirit? And you need to write this down. This is why it's a journal prompt, because I need y'all to get clarity on this. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to stop nobody hustle. I'm not trying to stop nobody business. But I'm telling y'all now, and please, okay, you don't need the psychic. You don't need the anybody. You don't need the psychic. You don't need anything like that. All you need is you. Everything you need, you were born with. Everything you need, you already have. You don't need to pick up the phone and call nobody and ask them what you should do. You don't need nobody to talk to your ancestors on behalf of you. You don't need anybody to talk to your spirit guides on behalf of you. They want to talk to you. I just got off the phone with my friend Imani. If I wanted to talk to Imani, I don't need to call I don't have to call Joy, to call Diamba, to call Imani. I pick up the phone and call Imani. Your spirit guides want to pick up and call you. They want to talk to you. You have to build your communication. So with this journal prompt, you are literally clarifying for you how are they communicating? Because as someone who is a medium, I have my forms of communication. So yes, I can tap in and I can talk and get answers for you, but I don't come to me for your answers. I want you to learn how to come to you for your answers. I want you to learn how to what I do, you have the ability to do. You have the ability to call on ancestors, to call on spirit, to call on your spirit. You have the ability to do that. Build your communication. What are your signs and omens for yes and no in nature, in numbers, in dreams, animals, babies, anything? What are your omens for yes or no? Yes, 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 yes. This is a big one. Fire, fire, because you could communicate through fire. Okay, this is. I'm so glad, Destiny, you brought that up. You could communicate through fire. So light a candle, sit at the flame. Make sure everything is still. Make sure all windows is closed. There's no air blowing or nothing, so you know that it's spirit, right? Sit at that candle and ask spirit a question and say, if the answer is yes, make the flame larger. If the answer is no, decrease the flame. Communicate through fire. This is how you get signs and omens. This is how you get signs and omens. This is how you get your questions answered. This is how you get to know, build relationship with spirit. Like I said, stop staring at the water on the altar. Not saying that you can't, but stop. You can get the answers right then and there. Light a candle, get you a white little tea light candle. Go to the dollar store or something, get you one of the little white little tea light candles. Light that flame on the candle. Set your vibe. Call spirit in, put a glass of water, some food, whatever you need, whatever your spirit needs. Call spirit in, some coins. Call spirit in and ask questions. Give gratitude. Tell them thank you. Ask questions and be clear about what your yeses and nos are. So again, that second journal prompt. What are my signs of yes or no in nature, numbers, dreams, other omens, fire, so on and so forth? Yes, that pendulum too, that crystal pendulum. That's another one. That's another one. Pendulum work is a whole nother thing. That's another one. The pendulum work. The third journal prompt. What are some questions or curiosities that I have questions about? What are some questions or curiosities that I have questions about? What are some things you want to know? What are some things that you are curious about? What are you questioning? And they could be small questions, they could be big questions. But the intention with these journal prompts is we build a communication with spirit. The intention with these journal prompts, we are building community with spirit. So I want you, the first one was centered in gratitude. You're coming to spirit with gratitude. The second one is centered in how you're going to communicate. What are your signs and omens for yeses and nos? The third one, what are your questions? What are your questions? What do you want to know? What are you curious about? And you're putting this on paper before you go to spirit. Because when you go to spirit, I want you to be clear on how. I want you to be clear on what you're doing. I want to be clear on what you're saying. I want you to be clear. So what are your questions? What are some things you are curious about? What are some things you want to know? Write it down first and really unpack it. Sometimes you may realize that the things you think you want to know, you may already have received signs and answers for. Okay, that may be something you realize. But yes, the third one, what are some questions you have? The fourth one, and y'all, this journal prompt really heavily stems from that Pluto and Aquarius energy. Okay. What are my 3 go-to practices that help me ground and center myself? What are my 3 go-to practices that help me ground and center myself? What are your 3? When you need to ground yourself, when you need to center yourself, when you need to bring yourself back to the here and now, in the midst of chaos, in the midst of anger, in the midst of shit going wrong, what are your 3 go-to practices that you use to bring yourself back, to help you feel safe? That's what grounding is about. That's what centering is about. That root chakra energy, right? That root chakra, that sacral energy as well, that sacred masculine, that divine feminine, the balance between the two. How do you bring yourself back to feeling safe, to feeling protected, to feeling well, to feeling whole? How do you bring yourself back to wholeness? What are your 3 practices? Is it chanting? I am mantras. Someone said yoga, meditation, writing. Those are all good. Those are all good. I love these as well. Water, sun, earth. Go take you a hot shower. Go stand out and sunbathe. Go walk outside barefoot and connect with the earth. What are your you said my videos? Well, I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you. But yes, what are your 3 go-to practices to ground yourself and center yourself? Now, the 5th one, who are your people and do they know? Again, that Pluto and Aquarius energy. Who are your people and do they know? And the reason, you got to be a Grey's Anatomy fan to know where this comes from. Because remember in Grey's Anatomy, with Christina, it done been so long, I ain't spoiling the show. When Christina was about to go get the abortion, she told Meredith, I put you down as my emergency contact. You are my person. Who are your people and do they know? And that became like a whole thing throughout the show. You're my person. You're my person. Who are your people? Who's your tribe? Who's your community? And do they know? Sometimes, y'all, we got to tell folks how we feel about them. We got to tell folks we love them. We got to tell folks we're grateful. We got to tell folks we're thankful for them in our lives. So who are your people and do they know? Okay, so that's the 5th journal prompt. So we got our 5 journal prompts. We got our 5 do's, 5 don'ts, 5 journal prompts. Now let's get into crystals, herbs, and then we're going to get out of here. 5 crystals. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what you need, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to move through this kind of quickly, okay, because we already about an hour. Green aventurine or jade, manifestation. It's for manifestation. Green aventurine or jade. Jade is a little more expensive. But green aventurine is a little cheaper. Malachite as well. But these are for manifestation. Green aventurine, jade, or malachite, manifestation. Citrine for balancing emotions. Citrine for balancing emotions. Moonstone to help you step into purpose and alignment. That Pluto and Aquarius energy. Moonstone to help you step into purpose and alignment. Also dealing with that new moon and Aries energy as well. Sunstone, joy and reciprocity. Sunstone is about giving and receiving, joy and reciprocity. Sunstone. Okay. The 5th one, selenite, purification and clarity. Selenite, purification and clarity. If you don't have selenite, get you a clear quartz. But purification and clarity. Okay, that moonstone, sunstone, and selenite, those last 3 are going to be very good to keep with you during Monday and Tuesday for that spring equinox and new moon in Aries. That moonstone, sunstone, and selenite will be very good. Also, make y'all some moon water, okay? Get you some, this ain't on the list, but this should have been another do. Okay, so technically we got 6 do's, okay? Make you some moon water. This is good moon water to keep during this time because this moon water is all about manifestation. Y'all know Aries is technically the first sign that starts off the zodiac. It's all about the new year. It's all about manifestation, all about spring. This is going to be really, really good. This is the moon water that you'll be able to keep with you anytime you need to manifest, anytime you want to do any type of manifestation work. This could be good moon water to work with. So you may want to collect you a couple gallons, okay? If you got gallon containers or big quartz jars, you may want to collect you a couple gallons of this moon water. So to do your moon water, all you need is purified water, and you set it out. Sun goes down, you put it out under that moon, that new moon, and then you bring it back in the house, okay, before the sun comes up. So get you some moon water. Also, I don't know what the weather looks like in your area, but if it's going to rain between now and Wednesday, you want to collect this rainwater as well, because this would be good rainwater to use for manifestation, okay? So those are some extra do's, okay? Moon water and some rainwater during this time, but get some water. Get some water during this time, okay? Now, 5 herbs. Spearmint, and all of these herbs are centered in abundance and manifestation, all of them. No detoxing. Okay, we did detoxing last time. This is all centered in abundance and manifestation. You can drink them. You can smudge with them. Anything. Spearmint, honeysuckle, lemongrass, alfalfa, and I'm going to say a chai blend. A chai blend is cinnamon, clove, ginger, cardamom. That's a chai blend. Okay, so spearmint, honeysuckle, lemongrass, alfalfa, and a chai blend. Okay, a chai blend, which again, chai blend is cinnamon, clove, ginger, cardamom. That's a chai blend. But yes, you can use moon water as rainwater. I see your question. Yes. Now, or rainwater for moon water. Yes, you can. So you want to get the chai blend. Alfalfa, spearmint, lemongrass, honeysuckle. If you don't have access to honeysuckle, just get you some honey. If you don't have access to honeysuckle, just get you some honey. But this is all about manifestation. Rosemary is also a good one too. If you don't have access to alfalfa, get you some rosemary, get you some bladderwrack. You can also get some basil. Okay, basil is also excellent for manifestation. Now, you want to take a spiritual bath with these. You want to drink these. You want to smudge your home with these. Anything that your spirit leads you to do with them, yes, that's what you want to do with them. Okay, so those are going to be some herbs that you can focus on during this time. I heavily advise that at least every day, every other day, at least try to get you in some chai tea. Go get you some chai tea, y'all. You get that out the grocery store. Get you some Tulsi tea, which is holy basil. You get that out the grocery store. Great for manifestation. Okay. Also great for cleansing. Okay. So those are your 5 herbs. Now, this is just a little bonus, and then I'm going to get on up out of here. Now, I do have to say, I had put this in the wellness community group chat. We was talking about, somebody had mentioned a money altar. I forgot who it was, but they mentioned a money altar in the group chat, and they had great things on their money altar. You know, if you have a money altar, or you're trying to manifest money, it's great to have, you know, coins, have some dollar bills, or any type of a manifestation of money, right? Any type of manifestation of abundance. Also having things like lemon, oranges are also good. Apples are also good having on your money altar. You also want to have a white candle or a green candle. Okay, that's very important. Having herbs like basil and rosemary on your altar is very important. But the thing I want y'all to make sure that you add to your money altar is a rose of Jericho. Rose of Jericho is very, very big, especially in hoodoo when it comes to manifesting money, when it comes to manifesting abundance. So add a rose of Jericho. Okay, add a rose of Jericho. Now, you can purchase them from a multitude of places. Okay, of y'all know, I have New York privilege. I live in New York, so I go to my local herb spot. They got them, but you can purchase them in a multitude of places. Go to any botanica to get a rose of Jericho. They probably even sell them on Amazon. I'm sure they do. But yes, get a rose of Jericho. You say rose of Jericho kept molding. You only supposed to keep it for 3 days, babe. How long you got the rose of Jericho? You keep it for 3 days and then you release it. Okay. So you keep it for 3 days and then you release it. Okay. You don't keep the rose of Jericho there. It shouldn't be molded in 3 days. Okay. But yes. So get a rose of Jericho. And if you don't have a rose of Jericho, there's another herb called, and then there's, again, this is just like hoodoo stuff, but there's another herb called balm of Gilead. Okay. There's a balm in Gilead. There is a balm in Gilead. But there's another herb called balm of Gilead. So go get you some balm of Gilead if you don't have access to rose of Jericho. Okay. So no, you don't have to keep it for a month. Rose of Jericho, you don't have to keep for a month. You keep your rose of Jericho on the altar fully bloomed for 3 days, okay? And then you can release it onto the earth. So I don't know your specific situation or why they would have told you to keep it for a month. I don't know why, but you keep it for 3 days and then you release it into the universe. Thank you so much, Natty. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. I love you too. Always, Natty is a day one supporter. Thank you. Release it. So if you have a rose of Jericho, you release it to a river, you release it to a body of water. So a river, a lake, a stream, a creek, the ocean, you release it to a body of water. Okay, that's how you want to release the rose of Jericho, but you got to let it go into the flow. You got to think money is currency. It's currency. It flows. It flows. It flows. So anything dealing with money, you want to release into the universe, release into water, release into the flow. Okay, so also on your altar, make sure on your money altar, you have some honey on your money altar. I don't know if I already said that. And another big thing with honey is, before you do anything with honey, you're supposed to taste the honey first. So I find that a lot of people skip that step. You're supposed to taste the honey first. So before you put the honey on your altar, before you pour the honey in your bath, you're supposed to taste the honey first. Most often, you'll let the honey drip from your tongue into the water, drip from your tongue onto your altar, right? Okay, so like literally, you hold your tongue out and pour the honey across your tongue and let it drip into the water, let it drip into the ocean, into the river, let it drip onto the, in a spiritual bath or whatever you're doing the honey. But you're always supposed to taste the honey first before you put it out. Okay, so that's something you're supposed to do. All right, so okay, family, we did everything. Our 8 minutes. We went through everything. We talked about what's happening all 5 days of the week with Spring Equinox, New Moon in Aries, Ramadan, Pluto in Aquarius, settling into Aquarius on Friday. We talked about that. We talked about 5 do's, 5 don'ts, 5 journal prompts, 5 crystals, 5 herbs, and we even threw in a little altar work, okay, at the end. All right. But yes, family, I love y'all. I will see y'all soon. Wellness community, read y'all book. Our book club meeting is next week, Saturday. Read y'all book. Okay. Please. All right. And we probably will have another Zoom before then. Okay. But yes, read your books. Wellness community. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing up and watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see y'all soon. Tell the people bye, Diddy. Tell them bye. Peace. Oh, Diddy.